Hi everyone, this is Vida Schmidt and I'm warmly welcoming you all to today's CC-Webinar.Live executive interview with IÑIGO GARCÍA del CERRO, Chief Executive Officer at Ufinet. Hello IÑIGO, how are you doing today?
Hi, hello, thank you for having me. It's a great honor to be here. Hi everyone.
Thank you. We are happy and honored having you here and looking forward to learning more about the insight that you have to share with us today. Let's start with the first question, which is, how does the new market situation and fast digital transformation impact Ufinet business? And what are the challenges and opportunities to meet?
Well, that's a very broad question. I would say that the COVID-19 situation has clearly accelerated all the paths that we have been seeing previously in the market. Obviously, during this pandemic, we have been committed with our customers, trying to help them, trying to give them some aid, some relief, trying to support their business, at the same time trying to support the communities where we work by helping, for instance, connecting hospitals or the likes. At the same time, I'm very proud by the Ufinet team that they have performed very well and we have been able to have the network up and running in these difficult times. But going directly to your question, I think there's clearly an increase in bandwidth demand. I mean, we have seen this trend was here for a while, but this pandemic has clearly accelerated all the demand. We have seen that everybody's working from home, everybody's having video conferencing, as we are doing right now, and that certainly has boomed the demand for bandwidth. Thankfully, our full fiber optic network has been able to cope very well with the demand solutions, and now we are ready to provide, and we have been ready to provide N times 100 gigs lambdas in most of the geographies where we operate. At the same time, we have been able to deliver that thanks again to our magnificent team that has been able to figure out the pace of the growth of the market. At the same time, another trend that we have seen once again accelerated is the need for increased capillarity and global reach. I mean, now everybody has this high demand of bandwidth and they have demand everywhere. We work in countries that certainly do not have the best connectivity, although our network is 100% fiber optic, but in many cities, most people are still stuck with former old copper networks. And I think that what we have been doing is increasing the deployment of our network, increasing our capillarity, increasing the global reach of our network. As a matter of fact, one of the things that we have been doing, and we can discuss that later on, is starting to deploy fiber to the home networks in many of the countries where we operate. So at the same time, we were already also in the middle of the deployment of new networks. I mean, there were some new technologies coming along, like 5G, like fiber to the home, and this technological push for these new networks, and certainly this pandemic has probably stopped or reduced the pace of development of these technologies, or the pace of rollout of these technologies in many of these countries. We have nevertheless continue our readiness for these networks, and as I say, we have already started doing some very interesting deployments, both for 5G, well, helping our customers for 5G deployments, and also for FTTH deployments.
Thank you for sharing the valuable insight. Let's move to the next question, IñIGO. What are the new business models and platforms that Ufinet has currently in place to meet current and future partners' customer demands to deliver the service and, of course, manage digital transformation? Please share with us.
Yeah, well, certainly this has been once again a very challenging time for many operations, for many companies. In our case, I would have to say that Ufinet has always been a very lean, at the same time dispersed organization. For instance, our CTO is based in Colombia. Our CFO is based in Spain, and I myself am based in the United States. So there's like there has been always this kind of spread of network. So we have been always had in place all the collaborative tools that was needed for this pandemic, and that now everybody has been starting to use. So, but what is more important than the tools in themselves is that the readiness of the organization, the culture that we already had about doing things online and this collaborative environment. At the same time, in terms of platforms, what we have seen is that this growth that we have experienced in the bandwidth demand has clearly required an effort on our side to keep up the pace with the technology. We have had to upgrade our network several times during these last months to keep up with the pace. I mean, the demand of bandwidth has increased so much in such a short period of time that we have had the need to increase and to keep up the pace with our existing platforms. In terms of business model, what we have also certainly seen is the consolidation of the wholesale neutral model. This is a model that we have embraced from day one, since the inception of Ufinet. We have, as you know, always been a neutral infrastructure player. So we don't go to our end customers, to the end customers to provide services, nor B2B, nor B2C. We only serve the carriers, ISPs, and the likes. And we believe that our infrastructure, our network is what shall help them provide services to their end customers. So we understand that they rely on us to provide these services. This has been very challenging because we have certainly to provide carrier class infrastructure services to our customers. And what we have seen in the last months is the consolidation of this model. Now, I think that with the challenges that I just mentioned, the new networks, the new infrastructure that needs to be deployed for 5G, for FTTH, everybody agrees that most operators will likely continue the deployment of this solution, of this infrastructure, with the help or base in infrastructure operators like ourselves. There are not many neutral operators who have the knowledge and the financial capacity to deploy these kind of networks. But I think that's one of the key lessons that we have learned in this pandemic, is that certainly in the future, there will be more and more of these kind of neutral deployments and neutral networks coming along.
Incredibly interesting. Thank you for giving this insightful overview and also learning more about the platforms and the models in place by Ufinet. Next question will be related with the future plans, IÑIGO, and please tell us what is company focus in the coming years and investment plans.
Sure. Well, we are very excited because, I mean, certainly we will continue with the new deployments, the expansion of the network to help our customers to continue serve them in new areas, in providing them more capillarity and connecting places that do not have fiber optic up to today. But at the same time, we have started developing new services, I mentioned, based on FTTH and towering. On the FTTH, well, in this last year, we have started already deploying FTTH solutions. We have deployed metro networks in neutral networks in cities like Sao Paulo or Buenos Aires or Bogota. Just in 2020, we deployed around 200,000 homes, and we plan to continue with this network deployment. At the same time, we are also deploying in tier 2 or tier 3 cities. I mean, we are not just focused in the main cities, but we believe that we can leverage our large fiber optic network by providing connectivity to these tier 2 or tier 3 cities. And we have started deploying in countries like Colombia or Paraguay. At the same time, as you are well aware, very recently we announced the deployment of 1.2 million home pass in Bogota,
yes,
which we
congratulations once again.
yeah, thank you. This is a project where we're going to deploy 1.2 million home pass in Bogota, and we're going to join effort with ETB, it's a local operator that will carve out the network. We will create this neutral player that will provide full coverage to Bogota. I think Bogota is going to be the first city to be fully served with fiber optic through a neutral operator. So that's very exciting news. And that's not just it, because we are working for some future deployment. We believe 2021 we will announce more of these deployments. We are working to continue the deployment in new cities, in new areas, in new countries. We are committed to do some additional deployments in Central America, continue in Paraguay, Peru. I mean, I cannot give you details right now, but that's very, very exciting. This model, which I believe it's quite new, we will deploy fully neutral network where we can provide both passive solution, but also GPON solution for our customers to serve the B2C market. And what is even more interesting is that we have several economic models that will fit the needs of each one of the individual customers. So that's once again very exciting. But also in towering, towering has been slowed down a little bit because of the pandemic and the lack of investment in this 5G deployments, but we believe this is going to be the year where most operators will start launching 5G, at least in some of the countries. And I believe we are very well placed in this solution. We are aiming at providing a small cell solution for these operators, and we believe we can leverage in our existing advantages like neutrality. That's something we have built over the last more than 20 years of relationship with our customers, but also the great coverage and capillarity that we have and the existing infrastructure with the agreements with many owners of infrastructure to ease up the deployment of 5G networks. And actually, we believe we have, over the last years, we have deployed around 1,000 poles across different geographies. And I think this is something that is going to boom in the next month. And here we believe also we can provide them some very interesting and innovative solution, not just providing them the space in the tower, which is something we can certainly do, but also providing them the antennas, equipment, power, electricity, which is something very challenging in some places, and also certainly combined with the dark fiber that we have, or with the fiber network that we have, also the connectivity for that place. So we believe that's going to be a very innovative solution that will help raise the deployments of 5G networks. In terms of geographical coverage, we're going to still be focused in Latin America. We believe there are many places in Latin America where we need to connect and where there's a huge need for additional services. As you know, we have been expanding over the last years. We have now coverage of most of Latin American countries. There are some which we still don't have, but we will work on them. But also in terms of cities, in terms of rural areas, our idea is to continue the expansion of our network in all over Latin America.
Thrilled to learn more about Ufinet's future plan. Big plans, good luck, and all the best we wish from our side. Thank you very much indeed for sharing, IñIGO. So we are now at the end of this interesting interview. Is there anything else you would like to add today before we finish the interview? Maybe a last popular sentence from your side.
My last remark will be to our team. We have done what we have because of the incredible people that we have, people very committed to the telecommunication industry.
Thank you. Thank you. Remarkable. And thank you very much once again, IñIGO, for this highly interesting interview and for being here with us today. Everyone, who is watching the recorded version of the CC-Webinar.Live executive interview and reading the article that we will feature in the upcoming GCCM magazine March issue. Thank you very much for watching and reading. Goodbye, everyone. Until next time.